Mr. Shakeel Cooper, I remember when he got started in the company, it was a whirlwind as what we call team coordinator at the time. He was constantly in top production, promoted to the position of regional director, consistently in the top of the charts, President's Club, all 4 quarters as a regional director, and then got promoted to regional vice president in breakneck speed. And the momentum was insane. It was incredible. But what I love about this individual is that he started to have some things that happened in his organization, people that decided that they wanted to do other things and recruit part of his organization into another company. And he was able to meet that adversity with putting his head down and going to work and recreating what he created in the beginning and getting himself back on top as a regional vice president. He has his sights on being the youngest senior vice president to promote an ACN, and he's on his way to doing so. So without any further ado, I want to introduce to the call none other than top producing regional vice president, Mr. Shakeel Cooper. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. I want to thank you, Mr. Lewis, for all of those kind words. And, I remember seeing you throughout my whole entire journey in this company. And, it's only a few, it's only a few of the real ones left. A lot of people that I did start with no longer are here today, but it's always great seeing people that I started this business with that's still pushing and still going out there, building their business, right? So I'm excited to be here today. As you guys know, all month, we have wonderful training, but today we're just kind of going to wrap everything up all in one. And then I was able to put together a little training just so everyone can kind of be on the same page. I know we're not going to have this next month, but most likely we're going to be back on here again in June. So I'm excited about everything that we have been able to do, but more excited about is the opportunity that even though while I do these trainings, I'm also learning myself. But for the people on the call, really quickly, my name is Shakeel Cooper. I'm currently 29 years old. Got started in business, no business background, seen it for the first time, 20 years old. Came involved, got started, had a lot of success, then had a big downfall, then was able to rebuild my business. And just like any other business, you're always going to have ups and downs. But one of the things that I did do was never gave up, never quit. Today, I have thousands of business partners, thousands of customers, and my business is everywhere, honestly. I think we're like in 40 plus different states, a few different countries. But honestly, I owe all of my success to the system that have been put in place. So what I want to do right now is just share my screen so we can just go right into the information. And then from there, what's going to happen is I'm just going to share with you guys just the mindset that it takes in order, to have success in this opportunity. But for the people on the call, just think about it like this, right? Imagine you guys starting a business. You didn't know really anything about business, but they told you that the only thing that you have to do in this business is follow a simple system. And by you following that simple system, what now is going to happen is that your business today is going to grow one day without you. So I remember getting involved in an opportunity with no business background, knowing anything about the business. But one thing I always remember that they told me was that, listen, if you follow the system works. Literally, if you follow the system works. So one of the things that helped me had a lot of success in this opportunity was that I understood that if I just followed a simple system, the business works. The business worked. I didn't have to go out there, recreate the wheel. I didn't have to go out there, try to figure out, how does this thing work? The reason why I knew that it worked because I watched other individuals going out there and just having success. Just literally having success. And I'm just like, what makes them any different than me? And it was nothing that made them any different than me. But what really got me excited was the fact that it just made a lot of sense. It strictly just made a lot of sense. And by it making a lot of sense, I was like, man, who would have ever thought that a young guy with no business background can get involved in an opportunity and follow a simple system and have success? Because as many people try to make it seem like I did anything different, the only different thing I made was that I just kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. Literally, that's all I kept doing. And by me doing it over and over again, what happened was I started failing. But the more I failed, the better I became. So by me just going out there, just doing it, I promise you that the business is really not hard, but you have to become a person of change. You got to want to change, right? So if you're taking notes, I would want you to write down, anyone can succeed in network marketing. Anyone can succeed in network marketing. Why? Because it's true. Everyone can be successful, no matter your age, your background, your race. You could be 18 or 85. I just saw a promotion the other day. Someone got promoted to RVP in 5 days. See, that's not going to be everyone, but listen, everyone's story is different. But what if that person got involved in your business and in 5 days you got an RVP? But you want to grow to be able to help lead that person to go find more people like them, because we can agree that successful people know and like other what? Successful people, right? So think about it, right? Two of the most common questions, right, that people are asked, right? Think about the two most common questions they ask themselves. Can I do it? Am I the right person? They always ask themselves this question. The reason why, because we always question ourselves. We are our biggest critic. Even though we care about more what other people think about us, we really are our biggest critics, right? So the answer to that question is yes, you can do it. And yes, you are that type of person. Because I can promise you that if you wasn't that type of person, if you couldn't do it, the opportunity would never came into your life, right? So that said, that the journey in building a network marketing business will be different for each person. So everyone is going to have a different story. Everyone time of their success is going to be different. No one person is going to be the same as somebody else in this opportunity. Everyone has a different story. You might start with somebody and they can take off before you. And then before you know it, they slow down. And then you might have a slow start, but then your business take off for you. So I tell people all the time, it's kind of like, I've never been to a racetrack, but where I grew up in Baltimore, there's it's called Pinnacle Racetrack. It's like where every year they have, like, it's called a Preakness. So it's a bunch of people, horses, all kinds of things. But what I do see is that the horses, they got blinders on their eyes. So when they're racing, they're not looking left, they're not looking right. They're just straight focused on where they got to go to. So I tell a lot of people that you got to have the same type of blinders for your type of success. You want to have that, because if you don't have that, what's going to happen is things are it's just going to take longer for you to be successful. And that's why I love the business, because it told me that no matter where you come from or anything like that, if you literally just follow the simple system, it works. It literally works. So by me going out there and just doing it, it was just like, man, just go out there, but more importantly, help more people become successful. Help more people become successful. Because one of the secrets is that if you help a lot of people get what they want, initially, you're going to get what you want. And by you going out there and doing whatever it takes to get what you want, just think about it, right? I've watched so many people get involved in the opportunity and said to themselves, like, man, do I really believe that I can do this? I'm like, man, listen, if I can work with kids from Baltimore City, we knew nothing about business. We was literally just excited, just literally excited. And by being so excited, we was able to influence other people that wanted to become successful. And they didn't care if they could do it or not. They just wanted to be a part of a movement. So by being a part of a movement, just understand that you are creating something today that one day is going to grow without you. It's literally going to grow without you. And the reason why it's going to grow without you, because the opportunity is bigger than you. The opportunity is bigger than you. So a lot of times when I tell people that, listen, once you take the focus off of yourself and then you start to put the focus on helping other people become successful, what's going to happen now is that your business is going to just go off of the system. And once you make it about the system, and I know that I mentioned some of these things over and over and over again, but the reason why I do mention it, because it's the system that works. You don't have to go out there and try to figure out a way on how to make things work. You just got to understand that it just works. But it only works if you work it. It's only going to work if you work it. If you don't work it, it's not going to work out. So again, the two most common questions again, can you do it? Am I the right person? Yes, you are. And yes, you can do it, right? So some already come with those certain skills. So again, everyone's different, right? Some people come with those skills, those experience, and some people just have that confidence, which make it easier for them, right? Because we're dealing with people. We're not comfortable just talking to strangers, but there are some people, right, that come with a little bit of skills, no experience, and there's a lot of people that they don't have that confidence because they probably never had no one believe them or whatever the case may be. So again, not everyone is going to come well equipped with all of the skills that it takes to become successful. So you're going to be lucky if you are that person and you can start attracting that person. But if you're not that person and you have challenges in those areas with your confidence, with your experience talking to people, or just the skills of just going out there networking, the best part about it is you can continue to work on it, right? So what's important to understand is that both type of those persons can be very successful. So you can be the person that started with a little bit of confidence, a little bit of any type of success in life. If you're that person that you just didn't know anything about business, but you wanted to do the business become successful, you also can be successful. And the same go for the person that graduated college, has a good job, has other things going on. They also can be successful. So the only determining factor is the work ethic that the individual put into building their business. So network marketing, it provides that great level playing field, like I always mention. Anyone can do it. So if you're asking yourself these questions every single day, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Well, I'm already telling you there's a level playing field, meaning that you can do it, right? And those individuals may be tradespeople, professional, educated, uneducated, shy, outgoing. And in the industry, everyone is equal and everyone can have success. So when you get involved in this industry, everyone, no matter your background, anything like that, most people for the first time, it's something new. So what did that do for us? It put us all on the same level playing field, right? And what is the most important to understand is that everything that's required to make success in network marketing business, it can be learned. There's nothing that we do that you can't learn, because everything that I've done so far is something that I've learned. I've learned my way to where I'm at today. Instead of me just sitting back and saying, I hope that it worked, I just failed over and over and over again. And I didn't care about looking bad in front of other people while I was failing my way to the top. But while other people was failing, they was giving up on their dreams. The difference between me and them was that I just kept going. And by me just keep going, people realize, man, this guy's never going to quit. So it's better to get with him than watch him. So again, that desire to learn has to be an essential, meaning that you got to want to learn it. If you don't want to learn it, guess what? Your business is never going to grow, because at the end of the day, I tell people this all the time. It's like asking somebody else to work out for you. They can work out. It's going to benefit them, but it's going to do no type of benefit for yourself because it's your business. We can help you. We can do everything. But at the end of the day, if you don't build it, it's not going to grow to the level that you wanted to grow to, right? So when setting your goals, you want to make sure that they are realistic. Make sure that they are realistic, measurable, and achievable. Because people say all the time, man, I want to do this next year, but it's like, man, you got to start here first. You want to start off, you want to set goals. Don't say, man, you know what? I want to make $1 million by next month. No, it's not going to work like that unless you win the lottery, right? But if you're being real, start it off with say, you know what? I want to make $5,000 a month if you're not making $5,000 a month. I want to make 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, maybe 100, right? But don't start out tomorrow and say, next month, if I don't make $100,000, I'm going to quit. Because realistically, how many people do that? Some people in the world, they do that, but we're being real today, right? So don't make all of the two common mistakes of setting your goals too high. Because when you set your goals too high, what happens is that setting unrealistic goals leads to disappointment, which leads to inactivity, which ultimately leads to failure. Meaning if you set your goals so high and you don't achieve them, you're going to be so tough on yourself that you just don't even want to go out there and set more goals. So again, once you start setting little goals and you start achieving them, your self-belief levels start growing and you feel as though, man, I can do more, I can do more, I can do more. So that's one of the things I've always done. I have little goals, but I also have big goals. So my little goals is going to keep me pushing towards my big goals. You want to sit down with your mentor for help in setting your goals, right? Or you want to just have a coach. Have a coach, a mentor, whatever you want to call it, but you should have someone to have a better understanding of what you can achieve. I'm not going to tell you that you can get involved in this business today and then in the next 6 months, you can become a multimillionaire and be free. No, because guess what? That's not a realistic goal. A realistic goal is, hey, you can make some great part-time money on the side while you still continue doing what you already got going on. Because at the end of the day, a person doing this business part-time and that making a great amount of income sounds way better than a person that's doing it full-time and making okay income, right? So again, be sure to write down your goals. Write it down and give yourself a time frame to achieve it. This is the key to success. So if you have a position right now, if you're a RC, set your goal for RD. Do it for 90 days out. You always want to set goals about 90 days out, monthly goals, yearly goals, weekly goals. It's just about goals, because if you don't have any goals, you're never going to go nowhere. So at the end of the day, your goals are super, super important, but you want to have smart, realistic goals that's measurable and achievable. Don't have these random crazy goals that you're going to be upset when you don't achieve it, right? And the key to in developing a successful network marketing business is to be someone that others in your team can duplicate. If you're not duplicatable, then you're not a great person for the business, because only you can do that. For example, right? If you go in front of a room and you speaking so proper and it's like you just too perfect. Your team is looking at you like, man, I can never do that. You don't want to be that person. You want to be that person when people are like, listen, if that guy can do it, I can do it. If people are not saying, if you can do it, I can do it, then what you're doing is not duplicatable, because nobody else feels as though they can do it too. So always remember that it's far more important to duplicate than innovate. Because at the end of the day, we're in the business of what? Duplication. Building a team of people doing what? The same thing. Acquiring customers, helping new business partners get involved and acquire customers, and attending all of the events. And we just do it over and over again and share the business with people, right? From there, good people skills are an important part of building a successful network marketing business. Again, good people skills. You got to be good with people. You can't be the person that says, I hate working with people. You'll never be successful in network marketing. Why? Because we just deal with all kinds of people. So by me learning how to deal with people, everything that we deal with deals with people. So I tell people, we're not in the service business. We're not in any of those industries. The industry that we're in is what? The people industry. We deal with people, right? So whether you are naturally good with people or not, it is important that you continually look to further the development and improve your people skills. Improve your people skills. There's nothing wrong with improving your people skills, because at the end of the day, everything that you're doing, you're dealing with people. You also want to be able to relate to other people. Why is this important? Because the marketplace that you're trying to expose your business to is diverse, and it's made up of all kinds of people of various ages with different interests, right? So from there, it is important that you try to relate to as many people as possible. And to do so, it may require making a few changes, right? So again, it's your business. I'm just telling you some of the things that I've noticed that worked over the years. And I'll tell you a little bit of why I know that it worked for sure. So changes like what? Not smoking in front of people. So if you smoke cigarettes, listen, do your thing, right? You don't want to be the person that's in front of people smoking cigarettes, because they're going to judge you automatically before you even say anything. Why? Because humans judge on the outside. The universe judges you on the inside. So we're talking about people judging you. So I'm not personally judging you, but I'm just telling you that it's kind of hard to talk to people when you smell like a pack of cigarettes. Because who by the show, even the people that smoke cigarettes, you hate what cigarettes smell like. So again, people don't want to smell that, right? So they're going to be turned off about it if you're smoking in front of them and then you try to talk to them about business. We're talking about business. You can do whatever you want to do in your personal life, but I'm just telling you how people think when it comes to business, right? Not swearing, right? Listen, we're all adults. People curse, but listen, if you're dealing with other people when it comes to business, just try not to curse, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with other people and you don't know how people operate or how they think. So if I was you, I would just try to just be open to everybody. I just want to be plain. From there, I want to be like vanilla. Who doesn't like vanilla, right? Everybody loves vanilla ice cream. From there, no excessive drinking. Meaning that if you go out, you're meeting with people and things like that, you don't want to be that person that's just taking shots to the head or just drinking a lot of alcohol, because people are going to start looking at you like, man, this person talking about doing business, but he drink too much. And when you drink, you're not in your right conscious state of mind. So you might do something that you probably won't do when you're sober, and you might turn off other people that could be possibly doing business with you in the future. I've seen this happen many times before. You can do what you want to do on your own time, but when it comes to doing business, just try to maybe do, I tell people all the time, if you're going to drink and you're out with your team or anything like that, if you do, drink a glass of wine. It just looks proper. You have your pinky finger up, but you know, it just looks elegant, if that makes sense. Don't be the person that's just taking beers to the heads or shots, because your team is going to look at you like, dang, man, my mentor is having a ball. So again, you're dealing with other people. So you don't want to put that image out there. You do whatever you want to do in your own house, right? Excessive facial jewelry. Listen, that could be just any type of facial jewelry. The reason why, because it's a distraction. So people, they might be looking at your jewelry and not be paying attention to you. So again, you want to wear a little jewelry, but you don't want to wear too much because you're going to become a distraction. So you have like a nose pierce. People will be looking at your nose pierce, and if it just stand out, you got tattoos on your face and things like that. It's like, it's just little things that people, they look at and they judge you before you even open your mouth. And you can be turning away possible people that can do business with you. But because, you know, you're not basically being diverse with everyone and just being a plain old regular person, and they can't really judge you, it might hinder you a little bit. Or last but not least, changing your unusual hair color or clothes. Meaning that if you got like pink hair, green hair, blue hair, just like a peacock type, if you got like bright colors in your hair, that's cool, but it's a distraction because people gonna be looking at your hair like the whole time while you talking to them. And then your clothes, you just want to dress decent. You just want to dress nice. You don't want to be wrinkled. You don't want to be that person where, because people judge. And it's sad that people judge you on the outside, because most successful people I know, they don't wear, they wear anything. They put on dirty tennis shoes. They just, people with money, a lot of them, they don't wear like expensive clothes and things like that. So there's a really thin line with that, but I tell people all the time, be presentable. Dress the way you want to be addressed. If you want people to respect you, dress respectable. If you want people to judge you, then dress like how most people would judge you. So again, I tell people all the time, you don't have to change all of these things, but at the end of the day, if you want a business, you're dealing with people, you're gonna have to make these changes. So again, it does not mean that you have to give any of these up or change who you are. I'm not trying to change you. I'm just trying to tell you that in the business world, people judge. It is what it is. They judge. Even me, people judge. See, I waited until I became successful to where I feel as though I'm successful before I grew my hair out, because I knew growing my hair out, coming up in Baltimore City, you trying to do all this business, people, they just gonna judge you. But when I got to the point where it's like, you can't tell me anything, I do what I wanted. But you have to get to that point first where you build yourself up, where then again, you can do whatever you want to do, and it don't matter what people think, because you're already where you need to be. But if you're now starting your journey, or you're trying to get to somewhere, you might want to make little changes before you can just say, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And if people like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. But guess what? Again, we're in the business of dealing with people. So you got to play the game to a certain extent, right? It just means that if you want to relate to as many people as you can, when you are building your business, you may have to conform just a little bit. We all have done it. I've done it. Trust me, I've done it a lot. I've conformed for a lot. But I want to build a big business. It's not about me, because I care more about being free than having to give up little things for a moment. So when you're not building your business, you can go back to doing whatever. Listen, you can be a business person during the week, and on the weekend, you could play for a rock band for all I care. It doesn't matter. Because I noticed, I talked to one of the top senior vice presidents, I think it was Art Napolitano, but he said that they used to be in a rock band when they first started. But if you look at him now, he don't even look like he even know how to play a guitar, but he was a rock star. So again, I tell people all the time, sometimes it requires you changing just a little bit, because guess what? He says to this day, he still plays the guitars and things like that, but he do it on his own time because he got the money and the freedom to do it, right? So again, trying to maintain a degree of individuality in terms of appearance and behavior will unfortunately only get you so far in building a network marketing business. There will only be a limited number of people in your marketplace who can relate to your individuality. Meaning that if you're that person where you just want to stand out and just do random things to yourself to stand out, You can have success, but guess what? You're now limiting your success because it's only going to be a few amount of people that can relate to you. Relinquishing some of that individuality will allow you to access more people who will relate to you better. It's important that you understand that this does not mean that you must change who you are or what you do. I'm not trying to tell you to change it. I'm just telling you the facts. We're in a people business, and if you want to deal with people and have success, you're going to have to make a little bit of changes. You're just going to have to do it. So it simply means that when you do business, you put on your business image and your behavior so that you portray a professional image. Because, for example, right, we have that image when we're around our friends, we speak totally different. But when we're at work, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Listen, I even have that voice. When certain people talk to me, hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. But then on my friends, it's, yo, what's going on with you? I still have the slang. I'm still a regular person. But when I'm doing business, business time. When I'm with my friends and my family members, I'm me. You got to know when to turn it off. So that way you don't feel as though that you're changing yourself as a person to get where you need to go. But you got to make a little bit of tweaking in order to get to where you need to go. And I'm telling you, that was the secret right there, because there's never been someone that like me with my type of story that since I've got involved at a young age, just I had to make so many changes to get to where I'm at today. And people, they don't see it, but I'm like, man, I conformed so much that I had to, because the people around me that didn't want to conform, they're no longer here today because they feel as though like I'm too real, I'm too this. I'm like, that's cool, but now you're broke. Because instead of you wanting to change a little bit of things about yourself to get to where you need to go, you just feel better being who you are 24/7, 365. And I tell people this all the time. Where did that get you? If being who you are, did it get you to where you need to go? If it didn't, you got to change a little bit of things up. You got to just change up a little bit, right? So taking on leadership over your team is a rewarding and provides a greater sense of ownership. It can mean a quicker growth and results of your business. Take control of your business right away. Take control of it, because I took control since day one. I had my own team name, my own everything. Like, I've been independent since I started. I had an independent mindset. Whatever my mentors and them chose to do, it was a bonus, because I wasn't waiting for nobody to help me get to where I need to go. Because at the end of the day, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And still to this day, I have been the easiest independent business owner that have ever got started in ACM, because I don't stress my mentors out about nothing. They don't call me about nothing stressful. We don't argue. We don't have no back and forth, because at the end of the day, my business is independent. With or without them, it's still being ran. If I don't know my team, I know my mentors don't even know my team, because there's so many people coming in from different places that we can't keep track no more. If your mentor is still digging in your business, you really don't have a business yet, because they don't trust you 100%. Because guess what? Also remember that leadership is taken, not given. You got to take it. I took it away. I'm like, how can I say this right way? I'm all about independence. I'd rather someone teach me how to fish than give me a fish. I don't like handouts. It's just not in me. I don't like begging people for help. And it's just not in me. Because at the end of the day, when you're independent and you don't need people to keep being there to spoon fed you, when life get hard, guess what? You can always turn around, look in the mirror, and depend on the person that's been there throughout the whole entire journey with you. And guess who that person is? Yourself. So at the end of the day, what everybody else do is a bonus. But guess what? At the end of the day, you is who got you to where you need to be. So you is the person that you got to put that focus on and that belief level in. You got to look at yourself like, man, listen, if they can do it, I can do it. Because it's nothing that your mentor can do that you can't do. But they just got a different belief level than you, because they had more success. They made more money. So their belief level, and a lot of time, people wait until they see the money before they have the success. Why not see the money first and the success and know that you're going to get it? Because a lot of times people make fun of, man, you can write down, you can say you want to do all of this all you want. Yeah, you can, but you got to work towards it. But I promise you, everything that you want out of life, I'm telling you, if you believe in yourself enough, you're going to get it. It's just not going to happen when you want it to happen, but it will happen when it's supposed to happen. So that does not mean that there's a leadership co-op, but a natural transfer of leadership where you're naturally transferring the leadership between your mentor to yourself and your organization, but there's no friction in the middle. You just want to take ownership. Your mentor is still there to help you, but at the end of the day, you're saying to yourself, you know what, this is my business. I need to step up and I need to be the face of my team. Whatever my mentor do for me is great, but at the end of the day, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. That way, if I'm successful, I can blame me. If I fail, I can also blame me. So that's why I can speak so highly, because I know that a lot of my success is because of me. I knew if I had failed, I couldn't blame nobody but myself. And I sleep good at night knowing that. That I'm not just sitting around blaming someone else for the reason why my business is not where I need to be. When I signed that agreement, it says independent business owner. It didn't say dependent. It didn't say when this person started, they have to work with you. So again, everything that anybody do for me, it's a bonus. Every customer my team members get, it's a bonus. Every rep they sign up, it's a bonus. I'm not mad if you're doing 1 rep a month. I'm not mad if you're doing 15, if you're doing 20, because guess what? Everything that you do, it's a bonus, and I appreciate it. And when you got that type of mindset, you're stressed. Listen, if I cut this beard off, I'll look like I'm 18 years old, because I'm not stressing over no business. Because why would I stress over something I can't control? Why would you stress over people that you can't control? You can't control someone that's going to go out there and have success, and you can't control they're not going to have success. So again, I look at it like this. Whatever everybody else do in the business, it's a bonus. If you want to do it, great. If you don't want to do it, it's great. We can still be friends. Listen, it's all great, because I'm only looking for those that's looking for me. So to end this month call, I want to end with this. The moral of the story here is, right, to be the leader that you really want to be, think of yourself as that leader with their own style, values, qualities, and ultimately that is the leader that you will become. So again, instead of just looking up to people and saying, I want to be like that person, why not take what's good from everybody and dump it into yourself and you become the deal? Why not do it? Because even though my mentor had a lot of success and things like that, I feel as though my impact is just different. Someone might be successful in something else, but the most important thing that a human being can do is inspire. And I believe that by me inspiring a lot of people with my story, I'm the best leader you can ever ask for. And everyone on this call should feel the same way. You should feel as though you're the best. There's no other leader better than you. Why? Because everything that you are is different. The way that you talk to your people might be different. The way that you do everything is different. But take all of the good from the leadership that you do have and just add it on everything else that you got good, mix it up, and then it comes out with whatever it comes out with. But I promise you, if you focus on the good of what people have to offer and you just take it on and you go out there and you do what you need to do, I promise you that you will become that leader. And one day you're going to have an organization that you don't know everybody in your team no more, because that should be everyone's ultimate goal, where you don't know everyone. So again, that's all I got today. And I want to pass the call back to you, Mr. Lewis.